Okay, Timbo, here we go. There is the bag, and let's start with the top. I have over here on the left side is where I do hats, and on top of the hats, the only thing I put are really light things. I put my little neoprene knee braces, whatever you want to call them. I put those on top if they're clean, and then down inside I have my ball bag, and I have my hats. And what I do is I fold them like this. That way I can get 4 hats in there. Plate bases for high school, college, or whatever you want, summer, good, bad, etc., etc. So moving over, back here I took 2 of those boxes, which I measured. Where are they? Here they are. But this is 7 by 3.5 by 2.5, and that's what I went with because that's what I had. But I put 2 in the back. One of them has seeds in it. Well, not seeds. I don't do sunflower seeds. It's got pistachio nuts in the shell. And in here I put mints and stuff like that. Back there I put this because sometimes you need to clean your stuff and you don't get to at home or something, but I have a little bit of cleaner there. That's that kind of like leather stuff or pleather stuff. Oh, it's that 303, I think it's called, whatever. And then some water, and then some Febreze, to spray your junk. I shouldn't say junk, equipment. Anyway, in here you have, I just took a shaving kit, and that's where I keep everything that goes to the field every time, whether it's plate or bases, some chapstick, some eye drops, plate brush, cup, timer, more chapstick, indicator. That's what's in there. The things that you're going to need every time you're going to need stuff out of that bag. Underneath I'll put old lineup cards, Kleenex, stuff like that. Maybe a snack. Got enough room in there for a snack. And this is just a regular shoebox, this right here. In front of that I put my belt to cushion that shoebox so it won't move around. So I've got these movable things that came with this diamond bag. So I situated them so they would fit the box. This fits the hats, this fits the box and the stuff. And then over here is where I made my lucky discovery of taking a bigger shoebox. Maybe this was for boots or high top tennis shoes or something. And I went 3 by 4, and so here I've got my sunscreen in this one, socks. I usually put socks there. Over here I put my shirts, and I always keep a spare jock, a spare pair of, what do you call them, biker shorts. I keep a couple spare t-shirts, and then down here the sunglasses with a case where I could clip it on if I had to on the fence. And then over here the rag for it's a good microfiber rag. I only use that for the sunglasses. Okay, then over here is kind of the miscellaneous. I'll put sunscreen for my arms. That's just a garment bag for when you have sweaty stuff to carry in. And then I'll have maybe spare socks, more sunscreen, some straps, just miscellaneous stuff. Or when your stuff gets wet, put it in there. And that can hold quite a bit. Now up here, you've got all these pockets. And I try not to make these too full, because then when I put it, if I make those too full, then when I put it in my trunk, it pooches up. So here, I'm trying to hold that. Let me move a little closer here. Okay, that should do it. Okay, so one of them is a little tiny sponge with a little rag for doing my shoes if I have to. Here's a rag. Over there, some, what do you call them, earbuds. And over here's some eye drops, cough drops, some, what do you call that, aspirin, in case I need that. Then in here I'll put my a spare Oh, shoestrings, lots of shoestrings. Some vitamins in there, handkerchief, Kleenex, some cough drops. In the middle, I've got nasal spray, toothpaste, toothbrush, some, what do you call that, hydrocortisone in case for a scrape or something, burn. And then the last one is some spare deodorant, a little bit of soap, spare brush, spare indicator, some more shoestrings. Like I said, I don't want that to be heavy because when you flip this thing over, when you're working with this, flipping it back and forth, if it's real heavy, it'll dangle down. So I try to put lighter stuff in there. And then on the bottom, I have, let me zip this up. So it's going to go flying out of there. So down here, what I'll do is, the only thing I put down here is on the bottom, I put my chest protector laid out. Like that. And then, and I want it flat so that way things can go on top of it. Then I take my shin guards and put them in there. And then I have my shoes. And I had my ex-wife, she took these former sweatpants that were the nylon kind, and I said, could you cut those off down at the bottom and sew them? And she did. And so I made these little, shoe gloves, so to speak, holders, so that when your shoes are dusty or dirty or wet, then you can put them in there and it doesn't mess up the rest of your bag. So those are sitting there, and then down here I have a complete little area there for my mask, and I need more space since I usually use the throat guards. I need a tad more space, but it fits in nicely and nothing gets smashed, because there were times when I would do this and I wouldn't have it arranged in a good way, and I would come out and the shin guards would be all bent to one side because they got smashed in. But since I've been doing it like this, it works pretty well, and there's enough room. It's easy to get your stuff, and things don't get bent. And by the way, when you have your plate shoes, they're okay. They're strong. They've got steel toes. But your base shoes don't. And at first, mine used to get smashed when I'd have them down here, and then the toe would be all smashed in, and I thought that looked ugly. And so I just bought some little shoe trees, the things you stick inside, and that keeps it so even if it gets smashed, it's not going to smash down because you got a shoe tree in there. And I don't have to worry about that. And I guess lastly is the little pocket in front, and that's where I keep papers and stuff I'm going to need. The little cards there. Like in college, you have to keep track of defensive trips now and offensive timeouts and so forth. So I have that in there, and then lineups, old lineups, and one of these little hand sanitizer things. Pins, put some pins in there, but that's mostly for things that are thin and you can write with. And then, of course, when the game's over, you always have to at home have a jug of the moonshine. So if you're feeling down or in pain, no, there's really no moonshine in there, but that is an authentic jug from my granddad's collection. He had a still. Anyway, so that's about it, and I can't think of anything else, but let me know if you have any questions. The irony of this whole thing is that a few weeks ago, my son asked me, why don't you make some videos of your equipment, your preparation stuff, because you could help some new umpires. And I said, I don't think anybody's going to want to see this. And anyway, you sent that text, and I thought, well, maybe I will put one on YouTube or something. But anyway, take care, Tim, and hope this helps. See you later.